Hi everyone, Ryan Smith here from Holiday Bliss. Are you guys getting ready for the holiday season? We definitely are. And today we're going to be creating a winter wonderland tablescape. I'm sure many of you likely have a space like this in your home where you might display family portraits or other mementos. Today we're going to clear that all away and we're going to create a tablescape that can really last throughout the entire winter. Nothing in this display screams Christmas. And so here we go, we're going to get started. We're also going to be highlighting and using our alpine trees, perfect for small spaces. We sell those in 4 sizes, a 2-foot, a 3-foot, a 4-foot, and a 5-foot, all lit with LED warm white lights. Here we go. Okay, so we're ready. And the best way to light up a space like this is to use some great alpine trees. We're going to show you a couple different sizes. They come in a lot of different finishes. I'm going to go with the flocked version today because we want to create a winter wonderland. So I'm going to use 3 sizes. I'm going to use a 4-foot, a 3-foot, and a 2-foot. They're going to need a little fluffing. We're going to lose a little flocking as we fluff them for the first time, but they're going to make a huge impact. So let's get started. All of these alpine trees can be found on our website at holiday-bliss.com. The great thing about an alpine tree is that they don't take up a lot of space, so they're perfect for a tabletop display or a space that might be a little bit more compacted size. We're just going to get this into its stand. And then we're going to spend a little time giving it a little fluff. And definitely take the time to fluff this and straighten out all the branches. It goes a long way. It'll look a lot better if you've taken the time to fluff your tree. Okay, we got the first one pretty much done. We might have to come back and zhuzh it a little bit once we get going here. We're going to put this taller one in the corner. And we're just going to kind of set some things around at the beginning here, and once we get everything laid out, we'll fine-tune the design. Alright, so that's the 4-foot. Let's do the 3-foot next. Alright, there's our 3-foot, and finally we're going to do the 2-foot. These trees always look better in either sets of 2 or 3. Alright, so there is our 3rd tree. So we're just going to kind of get this set up like that. I think the next thing we'll do is get them plugged in so we can see how they look all lit up. Got a outlet with the switch. Those are the best ones to use for these displays, so you can turn them off quickly and easily. We've got them lit. So next we're going to add in our reindeer. So we're trying to do, again, something much more focused on winter, not just the holidays. And the way to do that is to use something that's a little bit more white, deer, trees, those kinds of things, not necessarily Christmas. So we're going to grab some deer now and play around with those a little bit. Alright, so I also found some trees that match the deer. They're not lit, but they look really great. I'm going to grab a few more of these things. Okay, and I think we're just going to grab 2 more things and we're ready to start playing. Alright. Found the antlers for these deer. We're gonna put those in place. Okay, we have everything unpacked and set out, and that's really the best thing to do, is to definitely make sure that you've taken all of your supplies, you've got everything laid out, you've put your parts together. We got the antlers on the deer, we've got all of our trees, we've got all of the flock trees fluffed and lit. Now we're ready to have some fun. We're ready to actually set this up, figure out what design we want to use for our tablescape. Well, let's get after that. We're going to come back and show you what we're going to do to put the finishing touch on it all. Alright, so I think I'm pretty happy with the way we've got everything situated, and just a couple of quick tips on what we did from a design perspective. We wanted a good mix of the flock trees with lights. Then we brought in some of these layered frosted trees, not lit but still really great texture. And then we brought in the deer to kind of nestle within those trees. So we've got the main focus really being center of the mirror here, and we've got different heights that cascade throughout, and that's what you want. You don't want everything at the same height, kind of in the same cluster. You see we've got this kind of back and forth happening, almost like a wave, and that's exactly what we want on this tablescape. So I think now what we need to focus in on is, what do we do to kind of soften this up? This is a hard surface countertop. We don't want the deer and the trees to look like it's, you know, sitting on a hard surface countertop. Let's figure out what we need to do to make it look like they're sitting on a blanket of snow. And so rather than using, you know, some of the angel hair or, you know, some of that fake snow, we're going to actually use a flocked piece of greenery that's going to give us a lot of texture, a lot of dimension, and I think really finish this off. So let's grab that. We'll come back and get it in place. So I'm a huge fan of using greens in any tablescape. If you were doing something that wasn't flocked or frosted or snow covered, you could easily use just a regular green piece of stem or, you know, nice thick greenery. And all that does is just create a whole bunch of texture underneath your tablescape. You could use holly, you could use cedar, you could use long needle pine, anything that's going to just soften these edges. And that's what we want to try to create with the finishing touch here. And you can actually lock two pieces together and hide the stem by doing this. That creates almost a little bit of a small swag, and then place that in at the diagonal. You're filling in both the back and the front. Now there might be places where the interlocking doesn't work. Like right here, we want to still create a nice soft edge. We're just going to place one piece right here. And if you need to move the stems around a little bit to get around the base of the tree, totally fine. And then we'll take another one and come in behind it. That's going to actually cover up these cords a little bit as well. And that's exactly what we want to have happen. So again, you've got these nice soft edges. We'll do the same thing here. And as a reminder, don't wear a wool sweater when you're working with flocking. Definitely not my best wardrobe choice today, but and sometimes you might have to move things around a little bit just to get your greens in there. No problem at all. So we have one piece left, and I always like to keep one towards the end just to make sure that if we've got a spot that we didn't anticipate or something as we finish this up that looks like it needs a little softening, we've got something to play with. I think on this project we're probably just going to tuck it in right here. And I think now that's some really good coverage on this countertop. So if you've got a few things laying around that you might want to use just to make this seem a little bit more like Christmas and not just holiday, feel free to incorporate some of those things. We've got a lot of white, a lot of green here. Maybe your color is red, maybe your color is gold. And what you can certainly do is find something that you can use just to place inside of the display on top of these greens, just to fill in some of this blank space. So we've got two things that we're going to use today. I'll grab them and we'll come right back. All right, so here we go. I found some birds. This is, again, pretty neutral. You could leave this up all winter long. I think we'll place those right here where we've got a little bit of a hole, and we've got a perfect spot for them. We'll nestle those in right there. The gold, I think, really pops against the white and against those flocked stems. And then we've got a little Christmas accoutrement here, a jingle sign, and we can find a place for that as well. I think maybe down here, so when you first come in the room, you've got a little something to look at. All right, so there you have it. Easy tablescape. Looks fantastic. Great light. So in the evening time, these lights will come on. They'll stay on, pretty much all night. Really acts as a night light for guests that are staying here. Adds great light, as we are going into some shorter days now. And this is something that you'll be able to keep up really through March until the winter months are over. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Take care.